Some other time we'll talk about Lord Shiva and his significance and the numbers that are significant to him. But tonight we're going to focus on Mahadev Swami in the form of Panchmukhi, 5 face. There's also a Panchmukhi Shiva, but we'll talk about him some other time. All the same, he is the 11th incarnation of Lord Shiva as well. Let us start by looking at why the number 5 is so significant in our Satya Sanatan Vedic Dharma. Let us start with the basic elements: earth, the air, ether, water, fire. It's called Panch Mahabhutas. These are the 5 elements that we are all composed of. We will all have to go one day. Most of us will choose to go by 5, not so? And we go back to ashes, into the ocean and so forth. That's how we recycle, so to speak, this human coil. There are 5 senses called Panchagendriyas, 5 sensory organs that are smell, taste, touch, sight, and of course, hearing. Panch. There are also Panchakarma Indriyas. It says 5 organs. So we have the nose, the nostrils, which we hear, which we smell. I'm just trying to see if you're waking or not. The eyes, which we see, the ears, which we listen, the mouth, in which we speak, and the 2 organs that we pass waste. There's also something called Panchakosha, the 5 sheets or layers that the soul is covered with. Annamaya, food; Pranamaya, the air; Manomaya, the mind or emotions; Vignamaya, knowledge; and Anandamaya, happiness or bliss. Anand means bliss, Panditji, that's his name. Bliss. In a Hindu's lifespan, you must, according to our scriptures, you must perform 5 yagyas, 5 Mahayagyas, Pancha Yagya, Pancha Mahayagya. The first, Grihastha, as a householder. As a householder, Grihastha, the 5 yagyas are Deva Yagna, Brahma Yagna, Pitru Yagya for the ancestors, Bhuta Yagya, and Manushya Yagya. Pancha Yagyas. Tonight we are going to speak on Panchmukhi Hanumanji Baba. I'll leave that to Panditji. He'll get the whole katha from him. When it comes to Lord Shiva, one of the most powerful and effective mantras, Namaha Shivaya. It's called Panchashari. 5 syllables that make up one of the strongest, most powerful mantras in this universe. And for those of us who have performed puja this evening, you'll tell the others about the power of Lord Shiva, that mantra. In the Bhagavad Gita, Pancha Pandavas, Panditji spoke of them last night. Pancha Pandavas, Dharamraj, Bhim, Arjuna, Nakul and Sahadev. And it's a coincidence, my mother, on my mother's side, she has 5 mamus. And you know what their names are? Yes, they all name Bhim, Nakul, Sahadev, Arjuna. They all live like kings, by the way. 5 kaleshas, what we call kaleshas, sorrows or obstacles. And these are the hindrance, or these are the root cause for all human suffering. 5 obstacles. What are they? Avidya, ignorance. Asmita, egoism. Rag, craving. Devasya, aversion, when you want to avoid the truth. Abhivination, clinging on to life. You want to hold on to this life, you don't want to die. You feel that you're going to take everything with you when it becomes time to go. These are the things that prevent us from moving on, for escalating our lives. Panditji spoke beautifully about this last night. Why do we remain at this level? Why can't we go to the next level? You know, I always tell people, when it comes to the end of the year, December 31st, we all start thinking about what is our New Year resolution going to be. I'm going to stop doing this, I'm going to start doing this, I'm going to start exercising, I'm going to jogging, I'm going to stop smoking in some, I don't smoke by the way, I'm going to stop smoking, and so on. How many of you have made the resolution to say that on December 31st, I will take 1 step closer to God as your New Year's resolution? Think about it. That is probably the greatest resolution you can make, because you know why? If you make that resolution and you stick up to it, how many times do you really make the effort to go to exercise? I made that resolution last year as one of my resolutions. I probably hit the treadmill twice for the year so far. But taking that step closer to God and spending that extra 5 minutes that Panaji spoke about, every morning when you wake up, Surya Narayan Bhagwan, Dharti Mata, look at your hands, Om Karagre Vasate Lakshmi Saraswati, Karamadye to Govindam, Karagra Darshanam, bow to them, they are right here. Hanuman guides you at night, but when you wake up in the morning, Saraswati, Krishna, Lakshmi, they are right here. You must bow to them. After you take care of your biological needs, rush to your puja room. If you don't have a puja room, build one in the morning. It is important. Panaji gave us a beautiful kahani a few years back. He went to visit one of his friends somewhere in Canada, I believe. The person had a big mansion. He said, Panaji, come on, I have 18 rooms, take anyone you want. Panaji said, okay, great. And he walked around the house. Panaji says, after they were finished and so forth, he says, this is where you will sleep tonight, Panaji. Panaji said to the gentleman, he says, Bhai, where's your puja room? Bab's been built like yet. But he has 18 rooms in the house. Don't be like this person. Devotees, in astrology, Hindu astrology, Pandits, we use something called the Panchang. We say Panchang in Trinidad or Guyana. Panchang. When puja is conducted, we must look at the Panchang or Panchang to determine the correct time, the correct month, the date, the Hindu date, Hindu calendar, Vedic date, the position of the moon, the position of the sun, the month, the season. All these things are very important. When we chant the Sankalapa, when we recite the Sankalapa as Pandits, Panchanga, very, very important. A puja cannot be performed without that. You have to recognize, and as Panditji said, and we did it today, recognize every single devata, especially when we're performing Hanuman puja. Most of our celebrations in Hinduism, we go back to the Panchang again, Panchang. We speak of something called Panchami, 5 again. This is the 5th lunar day in the month is Panchami. As Hindus, we celebrate things like Nag Panchami, Garuda Panchami, Rishi Panchami, Vasant Panchami, and Lalita Panchami. Vasant Panchami probably the most popular one, or most famous one that we speak about. There's also something called the Dhanishta Panchaka. Panchak, as we know it back home, in Trinidad especially, when someone dies in Panchak, it is said it's very inauspicious. Certain pujas have to be performed, certain rituals have to be performed. And if it's not performed properly, what happens? Anybody? How many? 5. It will take 5 of you. 5 people from your family, not so Panaji? Panchak, very, very serious. If it is not performed properly, there are dire consequences. When we perform puja again, there's something that we call, in Trinidad we say Panchamrit, right? Local language. Pancha Amritam, 5 sweet substances. Milk, cow's milk, dahi, ghee, tulsi, sugar, and so forth. Panch Amrit. Make sure you take some Panch Amrit before you leave. Panch Amritam. Now you know the meaning of it and what it signifies. And finally, when a group of people in a village meet up together to discuss problems, how do we call that in back home? Panchayat. 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 5, normally it's 5 people. And this is how they did it back in India. When there was a problem in a village, there was no courts, there was no police. It's usually a little mango tree that they build a little, they leaf it. And the village elders, 5 of them will come and sit around that tree. And they will solve all of the problems. That is their court. That was the court. Punch, the number 5. So you see how important this number 5 is and how important numbers are in Hinduism. And this is why tonight we are going to dive into this katha of Panchmukhi Hanumanji. Several of you have asked me already for mantras, and I will share with you because I have gotten them from my guru. And my dear devotees, I'm not boasting or bragging. I told you on Tuesday night, first night of this yagna. My Ishta Devtas are Hanumanji and Devi Durga Ma. What more in the world can I want? Mother and Father. The most deadly, but the most loving of all the Devis. And they're all loving, don't get me wrong. I will never insult my Devis and Devas. But the love a mother has for a child Devi Durga Ma has for all her children. She will never lead you wrong. Do you know of a mother who will ever tell a child, I don't even want to hear anything about you again? No matter what you do? That is not a mother. Our mother forgives, but she will also slap you on your hand when you make a mistake. She will make you pay for it. But if you live the life that we are teaching, our scriptures have taught us, this mother will stand by her children at every single moment in time. She never lets go. I know that for a fact. With her at my side and Hanuman just my protector, as I said on Monday night, I fear no one. Take this attitude. Take this belief. Put your faith into them. 1000%. You can never go wrong. Devotees, we can keep going on and on and on, but I know you have come here to listen to Guruji tonight. But I wanted to give you, as I have been given the opportunity to share with you, a little knowledge about the number 5, punch, cinco, as we started off by saying. I also got a call from a fellow by the name of Hanumaan last night. And he told me that he loved the way you sang together and you clapped last night. I'm just joking, yeah? But devotees, I left here last night with so much energy I couldn't sleep. Because of you all of us. You clapped, you sang, you danced, you cried. And this is what we try to create in this environment. This Lingam Mandir. Very, very blessed environment indeed. And with that, I say to you, Dhanyavad, thank you for giving me an ear. And without much further ado, I would like to turn you over to Panditji. As I said before, he has come from the land of many waters, Guyana. He's very, very learned in all of the scriptures. He's a very humble individual. And he's someone that when you pick the phone up to speak to him, if he doesn't pick the phone up, he will call you back usually the same day. Panditji has been a very, very big impact in my life since I have met him. I met him at the home of Auntie Silo, as I mentioned to you. I met him during a dark period in my life. All of us have to go through this. But when that guru, my guru, ignited that flame, he's my Satguru, my original guru had passed. When he ignited that flame in my life, every time there's a dull moment, and I pick that phone up and I hear his voice, automatically the effect of the guru takes effect. It uplifts you. And this is what a true guru does. And this is seconding me. Devotees, he has also gone through, as he mentioned to you, some medical challenges. But through the grace of Panchmukhi Pavanaputta Hanumanji and my Guru Mai Devi Ma, she stands by him. And what can I tell you? Let's give him a nice round of applause. Pandit Anand Sukul. Thank you.